If you are doing everything that you can and spending a ton of mental energy trying to figure out how you can save money on doing laundry, you might be penny wise and pound foolish. If you're driving 10 miles out of your way to go to a different store to save 13 cents on toothpaste, you might be penny wise and pound foolish. If you are clipping coupons but you still have cable TV, you might be penny wise and pound foolish. Let's get to it. So one of the biggest things that I see when I talk to people who are drowning in debt and they don't know where to go, they're in over their heads and they're about to rip their hair out, the first thing they start trying to think about is saving money on laundry. Don't think that I am immune to this. When I first started getting out of debt, laundry was the first place that I started. So here's what the issue is that people are looking at their tiny expenses and they're not looking at the bigger picture. So let's go ahead and get started. So what you want to do when you're trying to get out of debt is start with the big money costs, the big ones, okay? And then you want to trickle your way down to the little ones, like saving 13 cents on toothpaste, okay? But we have to start with the big. What is the biggest expense that most people have? Is their housing. So if you're renting an apartment or you have a mortgage, it is time to start making some phone calls. This is if you're trying to get out of debt or if you're trying to save some money. So a lot of mortgage places, like right now, we're in a wonderful refinance territory where record interest rates are at their peak, meaning you have the lowest possible interest rates right now. If you purchased your house within the last 3 to 5 years, I highly recommend contacting your bank to see if you can get yourself a lower interest rate or refinance. Just keep in mind that when you refinance your house, you do not want to take out extra money to pay off all of your debt, because what that ends up doing is just helping you to pay off your credit cards so that you can rack them up again. Everything starts with your behavior. You have to change your behavior to get out of debt. The second biggest purchase that people have right now is transportation, so your cars. Right now, as I make this video, the average car payment is over $500 per month. Now, you have a lot of options when it comes to your cars. Housing, it's not so easy to pack up and move. And by the way, I forgot about housing. If you have a landlord and you rent an apartment, ask for a reduced rate, whether that is long-term, short-term. As long as you have paid your rent on time every time and you have a good record of payment, most landlords will be willing to work with you. Maybe take off $100 per month. That may not seem like a lot, but it really does add up. That's $1,200 a year. When you get into cars, so as I said, the average car payment is over $500 per month. Now, to me, that is just insane. If you're paying $1,000 to $1,500 on your house and you're paying $500 on your car, is your car worth a third of your house? In my opinion, no. So there's a few things you can do. You can sell your car and use the cash from the sale of your car to buy a cheaper car, a used car. Right now is not the best time to buy a used car, but you have to do what you have to do. Suck it up, buttercup. So right now you can sell a used car also for a very cheap fee. If you live within a certain mile radius of your house, there are carpooling options. You can also consider getting an electric bike. So say you sell your car for $5,000, it's an old beater car, you can get yourself a $1,500 electric bike and you can take the bus and then bring your bike with you. And then once you get close to your destination, you can then ride your bike to your work. If your work is close enough to your house, you can just get rid of the car altogether and use an electric bike. These things go up to 28 miles per hour. So it's not like riding a normal bike where you're going 10 miles an hour. These things are fast. Okay, so when it comes to housing and cars, these are your two biggest expenses right here. That's where you need to start. The next one is going to be medical. So we're not even getting into debt right now. So medical costs. A lot of people have jobs that cover, or they think that they cover, their medical costs. So you're having money automatically deducted from your paycheck. And check into the medical of your company. If your medical is $500 a month, and even though your company offers it, it might not be the best deal. So it's $500 a month. Your company says, yeah, we offer medical in our package, but they're, $500 a month, they're really only paying $100 per month, stating that they're offering medical with their package. So you're looking at yourself paying $400 a month and you don't even know it, because it's automatically deducted from your paycheck. If you could go and do some shopping and get medical care for $250 a month, you're already making $150 a month savings. This is not for everyone. Not everyone is going to be able to do this. Most companies offer good medical, but not all of them. The company that I work for offers horrible medical service. It's cheaper than what I pay now. Right now I pay out of pocket $217 per month, which covers all catastrophic events. Surgeries, cancer, car accidents, burn victims. If my house burns down and I get burnt, it covers catastrophic stuff, but it doesn't cover regular doctor visits. The medical with my company costs $100 per month, so I could technically save $117, but it's exactly the opposite. It only covers doctor visits, and if anything catastrophic happened to me, if I got in a car accident, if I got cancer, if I needed a surgery, it would not cover anything. So I'm sticking with my $217 a month. That is for the state of Arizona. And if you want, you can go ahead and just Google cheap medical insurance. And a lot of times what it does, this is how I did it. Well, a lot of times what it does is it will get you a phone number of like a broker. It's pretty much a huge company that has, it's just like calling a car insurance agency. They've got different quotes from different companies based on what you need. So if you take a lot of prescriptions and stuff like that, they will factor that into it, and they will give you a price quote from a certain medical corporation. So that's the way that that works. So these are your biggest costs right here. That's where you need to start. After that, you start getting into the debt. Now, what kind of debt do people have? They've got their cars, so we already went over the cars. They've got student loans, and then they've got credit card debt, okay? Now, the scary thing about student loans, people think that this is a good debt, and student loans are actually the scariest debt that's out there. They may have a lower interest rate than credit cards, but if you get into a really bad financial situation and you have to file bankruptcy here in the United States, student loans are not, even if you go bankrupt, you still have to pay off those student loans. So for me, it depends on your situation, but I am scared to death of student loans. So I would get rid of the student loans first if you're in a really bad situation. Now, when you call the student loan company, you can attempt to ask for a lower rate. You're probably not going to get it. The only thing they're going to recommend is deferring your payments, and you do not want to defer your payments because the interest is going to continue to accumulate even when you're deferring your payments. So get rid of the student loans as fast as you can. They're not negotiable. The student loan corporations are not going to work with you. So that's the worst. Credit cards. So there's different ways that you can get rid of your credit card debt. First of all, you need to change your behavior and you need to quit spending. You just have to do it. Cut up the cards, do what you got to do. Don't use them anymore at all. You're going to have to work on an envelope system using cash. This is for really extreme cases. In some cases, you can call the credit card companies and you can ask for a lower rate. They're going to say no. Then you ask for a supervisor. About 50% of the time, the supervisor is going to say no, and you're going to ask for their supervisor. And once you get to the third level, they'll give you about 2 to 4% off of your credit card APY, your average percentage yield, or annual percentage yield. 2 to 4% is not a lot. So if you have good credit, here's the other way you can do it. If you have good credit and you have a lot of credit cards, you can apply for a credit card that has a 0 balance transfer fee and 0% APR for usually 12 months. and you're going to want to max out that card with all of the other credit cards that you have. So say you have 4 credit cards and each of them has $3,000 on it. So you've got 12,000 bucks. You want to get that 0% card and you want to ask for the maximum of $12,000, maybe even $15,000, and you want to take all 4 of those credit cards that have a $3,000 balance, put them on the 0% balance credit card, and you want to pay this off as aggressively as humanly possible. You do not want to use your credit card at all. You're going to cut up all your previous cards and use only this one in extreme emergency cases only. You can also, the other option with credit cards is to do the Dave Ramsey debt snowball. There's a snowball and there's an avalanche. The snowball is taking the smallest credit card, say you have a $400 balance, paying that off and using what you were paying on that card towards the next one. So you use the next one and you pay what you were paying on the 400, so 100 here and 300 here, and then you get that paid off within 2 months. And the thing about that is the way that it works is that it's a mental change. You immediately see progress in your debt reduction, and it gives you the fire inside to continue getting rid of your debt. Okay. The avalanche is starting with the highest percentage credit card, starting with that one, paying it off, and then moving towards the lower percentage credit cards. This does mentally it's very difficult because you know that you have such a long way to go before you're going to pay off that credit card, and it's got the highest balance, it's got the highest interest rate, and it just takes longer, and it's very demoralizing not seeing any progress in the work that you're making. So after you have gone through the big things, the pounds, penny wise, pound foolish. You don't want to be pound foolish. You want to get rid of the pounds and then work on the pennies. So when it comes to, I actually find it kind of silly these days, after doing all the research, is that, first of all, we live in a society that obviously is overly concerned with germs, antivirus, antifungal, disinfectant, and everything else. If it gets, okay, for starters, if you have cleaning products, add water to them just to make them last longer while you're getting out of debt. You're going to get used to it and you're going to continue doing it anyway after you're out of debt, just to make your stuff last longer so you don't have to spend any money. But when it comes to laundry, I mean, come on. You know, if you're buying $17 of Tide and you're going through it every 2 weeks, you're either using too much or you're not adding enough water. You need to add water. If you are okay with switching brands, go down to Foca. It's $4. It does just as many loads as Tide. It just smells different. And then add water. If, you know, and you obviously, if you're taking something as simple as laundry and trying to save money on it, no matter what you do, you're not going to save enough money to make a dent in the big pound stuff. Okay, you take your pennies and you're not going to make a huge dent in your pounds. But water's pretty self-explanatory. If you can't afford laundry soap, don't buy it. Just wash it in the washing machine without it. And, you know, or you can just make sure that you soak it. A lot of people call it laundry stripping, which is kind of ridiculous because the water gets dirty anyway. So there's all your dirt right there. You just soak it and then you put it in the laundry, cold water, and you hang it to dry. It's about as easy as it gets. And people look at my shirt, you know, I barely ever use laundry soap, you know, and I don't exactly look dirty, okay? When it comes to toothpaste, come on, folks. It's not like you're spending $50 for a tube of toothpaste, you know. Toothpaste is less than $1. Go to Walmart, look on the very bottom shelf. You've got Ultra Bright, Pepsodent, Aquafresh, and they all have the same fluoride percentage as all of the expensive stuff. The Crest 3D White, the Aquafresh, you know, the Aquafresh 5000, and the Fluoride Master 86. You know, it's all the same, folks. And look at my teeth. They're pearly white, and I use the cheapest toothpaste there is. And, you know, it's just about flossing and proper dental care. It's time to use common sense. When it comes to shampoo and conditioner, I mean, come on, really? Like, you can get VO5 for 87 cents for a 3-in-1 body wash, shampoo, and conditioner. 87 cents. You're not going to be saving a ton of money if you're trying to find a way to save money on 87 cents. All right, add water to it. There you go. You know, you can get shampoo for 87 cents, conditioner for 87 cents, 2 bars of soap for $1. You're not going to save a whole lot of money that way, folks. So it is always best to look at the large purchases first. People talk about cable TV. Now, first of all, I always recommend the Roku box. Always. I have one. I've had one for a few years. I do not pay for cable. People always say, it's not free. You have to have the internet in order for it to work. You're watching me on the internet. If you're watching me on the internet, it'll work. So yes, you need internet. And people are like, I have an antenna. Well, great. I hope you enjoy driving your horse and buggy to work too. Now, Roku gives you thousands upon thousands upon thousands and thousands, probably 100,000 TV shows and movies for free, as long as you have an internet connection. Okay, you don't have to pay $150 for cable. I'll leave a link in the description. They're only 35 bucks, 25, 35 bucks, depending on the one that you get. And that's less than 1/5 of one cable bill that you're taking a chance on a Roku box. And if you learn how it works, you're going to be so happy with it. You're going to be like, what was I doing with this antenna? What was I doing paying cable? Another thing, internet. Let's talk about internet. Average internet is about $75 per month, $50 to $75 per month. Now, I'm not looking to find out what you pay for your internet, but what I'm saying is that if you do streaming on YouTube and Roku, it takes 3 megabytes per second in order to do streaming in 4K quality. 3 megabytes per second. I have not had any contact with any internet company that offers less than 6 megabytes per second at their slowest possible speed. So you have to call your internet company and tell them that you want a slower speed. You're probably paying for more speed than you need. A lot more speed than you need. My internet bill right now is $37.99. I don't have a cable bill. Cell phone bill, average bill is between $75 and $125 per month. My cell phone bill is Mint Mobile. It uses the Verizon network, and I love my Mint Mobile. It's $15 for 4 gigs. I have not run out of gigs since I've had this service. 15 bucks, folks. 15 a month. $30 a month for completely unlimited data. Unlimited calls, text, and data. 30 bucks. I would like to find anybody who can find a better price than that. Go to Mint Mobile. I'll leave the link in the description for that too. Okay, so in the last 16 minutes or 17 minutes, I have gone over the biggest cost-cutting savings that you need to do in order to lower your expenses as much as possible so you can save your money or invest it for your future or give it to charity or go on vacation. Just doing these things, these tiny little things in this 17-minute video, if you do every single one of them, I promise you, you will save thousands of dollars every year. And I forgot to mention car insurance. Call your car insurance and switch to liability if your car is paid off. Okay? There you go. Unless you want full coverage, and you need full coverage if you live in the snow, that's fine. Try and get a lower rate. I just got an email from somebody who said they saved $50 a month just by calling their auto insurance company. $50 a month sounds like nothing. That's $600 per year. That's 3 Disneyland tickets. That's 3 tickets inside the park. Just think about it, folks. You can save thousands. I promise. Follow all of the things that I've said in this video, and and then tally it up. I want you to tally it up and tell me how much you saved after you've made all those phone calls and after you've done everything that I said in this video. I want to see. Are you penny wise or are you pound foolish? Don't forget to check out my book, Living on Almost Nothing, that you can get on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description. And don't forget, folks, if you believe that you can or you believe that you can't, you are right. Prepper Princess out. Out. Clicker. Get it.
Oh, I got one too. What?
Get it.
Zoology. That's what you were talking about. Yeah.